Man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. So there's word on the curb that a lot of folks thought that Manny Pacquiao will possibly be facing Vasyl Lomachenko on the undercard of what will be the Terrence Crawford and Jeff Horn fight. Now, the thing is that if Manny Pacquiao, which they're talking about adding him to that card anyway, if he gets added to that card, it turns from a Jeff Horn and Terrence Crawford fight to a Manny Pacquiao card. You know what I'm saying? It's funny to me how this thing is working itself out. Because we heard Bob Arum come out and state that if he adds Manny Pacquiao to that particular card, then they'll look to then move it from ESPN to possibly ESPN pay-per-view. And that is the sweet spot right there, ladies and gentlemen, right there. See, when I heard about this possibly thing between Lomachenko and Pacquiao, first thing that hit my head is that ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. If y'all think that Bob Arum is going to put his basically 4 top guys right now all on the same card and facing each other right now, I just don't see that happening. Bob Arum needs something. There is one thing that there isn't no other fighter that Bob Arum has that or can bring him that he really needs. And the only other guy that's within Bob Arum's reach that has this is Manny Pacquiao. And that one thing is, ladies and gentlemen, Manny Pacquiao, regardless of how y'all may say or feel about him, he's old, he's has his best time behind him. The fact is, Manny is still a pay-per-view, still has pay-per-view potential, And when you have that going for you, that's just the good. That's one of the good things about Miguel Cotto. Though Miguel Cotto was a shell of his former self in his last few fights, they were pay-per-view level fights. There are only a handful of fighters that still have that sort of potential. See, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, believe it or not, are still the 2 most famous boxers on the planet. Even though Floyd Mayweather's retired, even though Manny Pacquiao is a shell of his former self, they are still the 2 most formidable names in boxing. This is the reason why they still hang around boxing. I mean, we talk about, we wish Pacquiao leave and this, that, and the third, but would you leave when you know there's still millions on the table that can be made? That's the big burning question. Now, I don't believe Manny Pacquiao's heart is where it used to be. I mean, he has too much going on around him. He's a senator. I still believe he has his financial issues. And see, this is where Bob Arum comes in for Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao can probably explore other options. He can go over to Golden Boy. He can try to make something happen with Al Heyman. Some even say that Manny Pacquiao should put his own deal on. Well, clearly Manny Pacquiao just does not have the financial incentive to do that. I don't think he has the money structure in order to promote and put on his own shows. You know what I'm saying? But, he can easily go to these other entities, but it's like, why? You know what I mean? Like Manny Pacquiao is up there in age. He has senatorial duties to worry about. He has so much going on around him. The last thing that this man wanted to be doing is be restructuring contracts, get locked in new contracts, told this, told that. Where is it with Bob Arum? It's like, I already got it all set up here, man. You know what I mean? I've been doing business with Bob for so long. He has the access to the networks. He has the money to pay me, man. Let's just make it happen, man. You know what I'm saying? So Bob brings the money. But on Manny's end, he brings the pay-per-view potential. And regardless of what you may say, if you put Manny Pacquiao, he can be used as an effective tool. If you put him in the right situation, you can make it a pay-per-view event. Whether or not, he's facing, say, Vasyl Lomachenko, which I doubt. You know what I mean? Let's just say, because the situation that I'm keeping my third eye on is the Amir Khan situation. You say if Manny Pacquiao faces Amir Khan, you know what I mean? That's a pay-per-view fight. And, and that's a very realistic situation because we've seen Manny Pacquiao and Amir Khan try to make fights on several occasions. You remember prior to the Jeff Horn fight in which Amir Khan found those janky-ass promoters over in the Middle East in which, when Bob Arum took a closer look, he seen that they not only didn't have the money, but the government didn't even back the fight, which is needed in that part of the world. If you go back to the Floyd Mayweather buildup and Manny Pacquiao buildup, remember when Manny Pacquiao had the big meeting in the UK with Amir Khan? It was like all these cameras around. It was like a big deal. We thought they may have went in there and made a deal, but it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And now we hear that Amir Khan may want to come back and fight around April and so does Manny Pacquiao. So I'm just saying, and Amir Khan, who has recently signed with Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn, they do business with Bob Arum. You know, there is no exclusive network deal or promotional outfit that's preventing this fight from happening. So I'm just saying, keep your eye on that situation, because Manny Pacquiao's fighting of opponents, his list is short. When you see Bob Arum attempting to attach the name of Vasyl Lomachenko to this event, because that's all he's doing, he had no plans on making these two guys fight. The name was just being attached to the event. You know what I mean? And this shows you how much of a problem that Bob Arum is having with finding an opponent for Manny Pacquiao. I mean, you think of it like this too. You like, who else is there? Like, we getting closer to this fight. We getting closer. They can't find venues. They have no opponent for Manny Pacquiao. They just want Manny Pacquiao involved in the Jeff Horn and Terrence Crawford situation. Now, people already ain't but 2 seconds off Manny Pacquiao also for him basically ducking Jeff Horn. The rematch was dead. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Manny Pacquiao backs out of the fight because the fight was going to go down in Australia, and Manny felt as though he was robbed in the first fight. My thing is, if Manny would have went back to the drawing board and retooled, I think he could have beat Jeff Horn. It's not as if Manny Pacquiao lost to Jeff Horn by a huge margin, in my opinion. I thought he lost, legitimately lost, but not by a huge margin. And that 10th round did show me that Manny can hurt Jeff Horn. So I'm saying that Manny should have went back, retooled, you know, retrained, you know, actually studied his opponent and not take the word of people around him and say that Jeff Horn was nothing to worry about. He should have went back to the drawing board, and I thought he could have came back and beat him. But instead, he pissed away that opportunity, right? Now that Terrence Crawford is going to get the fight, so he ducks Jeff Horn, and clearly he ducked Terrence Bud Crawford, though I didn't think maybe if Terrence Bud Crawford gets to his next fight, there should be no reason Manny couldn't face him. But the fact is, he ducked that, and then when this talk about Lomachenko came out, I was like, man, he better not take this fight, man. He better not even act like he want this fight, man. It was just going to look bad. I would be severely disappointed in Manny Pacquiao. Real talk. So I was just glad. I'm glad that Bob Arum has came out today and stated that, you know, that's not going to happen. You know, they said there was some talks that went down behind the scenes, but a catchweight couldn't be agreed upon. Not to mention, Vasyl Lomachenko has more than enough opportunity and opponents at the weight class that he fights in. I told you, I'm not for all of these skipping weight classes, Jazz. Like, come on, man. 3 weight classes? Are you serious? This dude fights at 130. Pacquiao fights at 47. Even if Pacquiao would have cut weight and somehow made 140, it still wouldn't have been a good fight, in my opinion. This is a trash fight. Let Vasyl Lomachenko fight at the lower weights, man. Bob Arum just need to get on his job, and if he's going to promote Manny Pacquiao, or should I say if he wants Manny Pacquiao to make his events bigger, then you need to find the proper opponent and do your homework. May even bite the bullet and bring over an Al Heyman fighter, for crying out loud. There are no more Timothy Bradleys. There are no more Juan Manuel Marquez's, man. There are no more of those, you know, that top-ranked stable, if you will, or the carousel, if you will. That don't exist no more. You need to find a legitimate opponent for Manny Pacquiao. And Terrence Crawford needs to be taking notes, because this can easily be him. Once he does, if he becomes a world champion, where's Bob Arum going to move you at, my man? So we'll see how this works out, man. But I'm just glad that this ain't happening. I think now that we know that Manny Pacquiao will be possibly joining this card or this event, this will become a Manny Pacquiao card. Bob Arum clearly is trying to move this fight to ESPN pay-per-view. And I can't knock him for that, because me as a diehard boxing fan, I do believe that Jeff Horn versus Terrence Crawford is already a pay-per-view caliber fight, in my opinion. But of course, the casual guy, they would not, you know, they wouldn't agree with me by far. So it is what it is. But you know, clearly Bob Arum still needs Manny Pacquiao. Let's not forget this. Manny Pacquiao may even have a little leverage in this situation, because Bob Arum cannot put this fight or any of the fights that he has with any of his other fighters, for that matter, on pay-per-view. And that's where the real money at, ladies and gentlemen. If you really want to talk about the real money to be made in boxing, well, guess what? It's on pay-per-view. So, you know, Bob Arum needs Manny Pacquiao just as much as Manny Pacquiao needs Bob Arum. And when you understand their relationship in this light, you see why Manny Pacquiao sticks to Bob Arum. Because he know Bob Arum needs him. He knows that you have no star. You don't have this caliber of fight of guy with a legacy that I have. You have some potential. You have like with guys like Terrence Crawford and Lomachenko, but they ain't there yet. The general public, they don't have a country behind them. But Manny Pacquiao still does. So this is clear and uncut evidence. Bob Arum reaching into his past, hoping to, as much as he say about Manny Pacquiao, he's hoping to use the name of Manny Pacquiao. At the end of the day, even if the fighter is not that good, he still hopes that the name is still that good. I know that's hard for a lot of people to understand, but sometimes the name alone can ring bells. It's like Donald Trump. Trump don't own a lot of these hotels that his name sits on the front of. You know what I'm saying? But yet the name holds weight at one time, at least, you know, when it came to the hotel business. So we'll see, man. So good to hear this. We'll see who Manny Pacquiao's next opponent will be. I think he's more so leaning towards Amir Khan because there's just no one else at this present time. You know, and Manny Pacquiao, man, it's no way in hell that fight fans is going to sit back and allow you to duck Jeff Horn and duck Terrence Crawford to face a smaller fighter in Vasyl Lomachenko. No one, I repeat, no one would forgive Manny Pacquiao for this. This will be a terrible stain on the legacy of Manny Pacquiao. I hope he doesn't trade that in for a bag of money. I really don't. So we'll see. So to the next video. Peace out.